Hi. Today, I want to complete the first ever 2 Tower Chimps with Golden Justice and POPSEIDON. Now, this is obviously because I'm better than Izab. Golden Justice is a new tower in the most recent update, as well as POPSEIDON receiving a bunch of changes and buffs. Together, they have awesome synergy that I want to show you guys for today. So, without further ado, we're going to grab the Mermonkey down about right here. I do think the bottom cross path is preferred in this case, mainly because the Trident can actually seek out its targets. So let's get the Echo Sense and get the game started. I think we're going to try to go for the Sharper Prongs as our first upgrade. And then I think try to get the Desperado down afterwards. Here is the Sharper Prongs. Like I was kind of mentioning in the beginning of the video, I think the Desperado and Mermonkey is a perfect synergy for this challenge. It seems like what the Mermonkey lost in the most recent update, he gained in the power of... Hopefully Seeking Projectile does good here. It does not. Rip. Alright. So I think we might have a small def counter on the screen, but numero uno. Let's do a little bit of targeting micro here. We'll go from strong to first, perhaps. Not too sure what of the balloons leaked, but I think it might have been one of the high-class balloons. Nice. Looks to be solved. Go back to first. Alright, now we can get a Desperado down. I do want it in kind of a specific area, so we're going to place it about right here. He has 2 different ranges, and when balloons are closer, he actually pulls out his worst of the 2 weapons. And so I want to make sure that he does not pull out the worst weapon on this little track length, and possibly not over here, but I think that's going to happen regardless. In fact, there might even be a better spot for this, but for now, I think it will work. And then we're also going to agree the quick draw here. I just think it's a very good upgrade. We already have the ability to pop camo, but this bullseye allows chances to crit. And critting a balloon does, I think, a lot more damage. So let's grab the bullseye now. And now that we're going to look at getting this title chill. And then we look at affording a tier 3 upgrade. I'm not too sure which one I want to get beforehand. I'm thinking we go Mermonkey tier 3 into the Desperado tier 3. But only time will tell. But for now, we look to be doing pretty well. I'm not going to greed this Echo Sense network just yet. My hope was that I got a little bit more range on the top side so it can do a little bit more damage over here. But I'm not going to buy it just yet, just because I believe we can get Riptide Champion beforehand. That is if we can beat round, I think, 22 and 23. And I guess 21 as well. In fact, this round might be a little bit dangerous for us. Got a couple pink balloons leaking. Okay, so I do think this is going to be a little bit troublesome. Oh, okay. A well-timed crit at the very end. In fact, I think we were dead without the crit. I think we might do a little bit of micro-targeting here. But we seem to be doing pretty well, so let's just leave it be until we actually need to. And we are very close now to affording this Riptide Champion. In fact, it might even be mid-round. In fact, it wasn't, but now we afford it. Not only does the animation look a lot cooler, but now we can't pop purple balloons anymore, so let's try to put this guy on strong. Nice, and back to first for the beginning. Like I said before, this guy gained the ability to pop leads, but can no longer pop purples, white balloons, or zebra balloons. So that was kind of a difficult round, but we managed to beat it. We are now relying off Desperado to pop those zebra balloons. In fact, right here would be a good chance to showcase it. Pop the zebras down, pop the white balloons down, and then this guy can solo the rest of it. When he throws out his spear, the longer the spear goes out for, the more damage it actually does. You can see it grow in size. You can see the waves get bigger the farther it does travel. So the other change, this guy can now pop lead, so round 28 and 30 should be relatively easy. And I think we're about to greet out this Deadeye as soon as possible, given that we can pop these white and zebra balloons down. Looks to be so. I lied. Okay. Oh no, okay, the regrows were actually kind of troublesome. In fact, really troublesome. Could we solo? Well, time to crit? No! As difficult as the challenge may seem, I do think it should be a lot easier. I'm just not that good at the game. Break down the pink. Oh, really? Really, Desperado? 1 red balloon? Are you kidding me? No, okay. Well, I do think strong targeting is better, so let's try that again. Some of the rounds seem a lot different in attempts. It seems like sometimes we do a little bit better, and it seems like sometimes we do a little bit worse. I'm not too sure if it's RNG and the Seeking Projectiles or anything like that, but it kind of almost seems like it. right. Seems a little bit better than last time. Could we solo a purple? It looks like when we need the well-timed to crit, it's no longer happening. But we're pretty close to affording this Deadeye, so that should be good for us. I don't think it gives the ability to make this guy pop purples or zebra balloons yet. We can try it out. Yeah, it looks like it still can't pop. But we do get the range. As well as this guy just having a really good attack in general. Now it seems like he's actually just soloing the white balloons and so on. I don't think we'll afford a tier 4 before round 40. So I think we are relying off these two guys to beat the Moab. Fun fact, Desperado tier 4 middle path and Mermonkey middle path tier 4 cost the same amount. Alright, here's round 40. Might go for a small buff here on this guy. And should do just fine. Nice. In fact, we almost like one-shot all of the insides, so that's kind of an interesting strat. I think we'll greet out the Arctic Knight first. Maybe that was a bad idea since we are still weak to zebras. But I guess this guy's still popping all of them. But we have enough money for this bounty hunter, so let's go ahead and buy that. Now when we apply the ability, we should gain the access to popping all types of balloons with Arctic Knight. We'll test it out here. So now this guy should pop purples. Kind of hard to tell because I think Desperado is still soloing. All right, there we go. Nice, okay. A ability sequence of Desperado range buff and Mib buff into the Ice Ball ability will be kind of cool. In fact, we could try it out right now. There we go. Now it has the accessibility to popping everything, which is kind of cool. Cool little synergy right there. But now we're in the big greed stage, as well as, I think, just beating some of the rounds. In fact, it might be more difficult here than in the late game. Once we get POPSEIDON, he just has crazy damage. For example, round 98 should be the simplest round. Here is the round 60 BFB. I'm going to try not to be using abilities unless I need to. In fact, we could just reset some rounds. We have the death counter down below. Round 60. Okay, this might be one of the rounds we actually go for the ability at. So let's go for it and see what happens. All right, I lied. This looks a little dangerous. I probably didn't use it totally correct. But hopefully it works out here. You can see at the very end, he swapped out to his pistol. But I didn't know round 61 had so many zebra balloons. And so what I think we do here, actually, is... I almost put down Quincy. Is aim the ability. And then go for the buff and ice ability instantly. And see if we can't take out some of the zebras early. And then maybe get the ability back up in time. So let's go ahead and do a mark to pop. And then hopefully have enough time to squeeze out this ability again. And beat the rest of the balloons. Nice. Oh no, we got the same thing for... Okay, the buff's still active. That's nice. Okay, this is a little bit scary. This is a little bit scary now. I think I'm going to try to go for... the abilities here. Alright, we need to catch the balloons. Catch the balloons. Ah, leaking too many. I might have used my abilities wrong at round 61. This would be a little bit annoying if it's true. I'll try to go for the ability instantly. Seemed like it popped more balloons down. Desperado early. Back to first. Hopefully it catches the leakage. Nice. And I'm thinking a mark to pop ability, but I'm not 100% sure. Let's see if we can actually pop this. Let's try it now. Okay, alright. We gotta pop these other balloons, come on. Don't pull out the pistol. Nice. And let's, I guess, apply the abilities here. Don't pop in the whites. Ooh, the crashing wake. We have no abilities for round 63. But for some reason, I feel like this is going to be a little bit easier. Okay, I lied. Of course, when I say that, it becomes a bit more difficult. Let's put this guy back on strong. Just seems like the ceramics are popping into a bunch of balloons that this guy can no longer pop. Ah, I think our ability usage at round 62 is going to do us dirty for you. In fact, I think it all came down to 61 abilities. Alright, I don't know what I just did. In fact, I think I went to last targeting. I think I didn't hit the Saram Rush with the Mermonkey. In fact, I don't even know what's going on in general. I think last is just doing us better here for some reason. I think it's a Crashing Wake ability. Oh, I misaimed the ice ability, but I think we should still be fine. All right. We escaped that round. Doesn't look like it's actually just super easy for some reason. In fact, it looks like a little bit difficultness. Pray. And still died. Okay. Didn't pray hard enough, I guess. Let's put this guy back on first. It does seem like the targeting off of Mermonkey matters a little bit. And we'll go for the Mark to Pop ability. Oh no, it's in range of the pistol. And I think when you use the Mark to Pop ability with the pistol, it's a lot weaker. It still managed to, I think, work out. What is up with all these zebra balloons, bruh? Who would have thought rounds 60 through 61 through 65 had so many whites, zebras, and purple balloons? I think we just go for a late ability. So, like... Or no ability at all. Okay, I lied. We'll save it. Alright, so we're kind of close to affording the Golden Justice. But again, I would rather greet out POPSEIDON beforehand. And so even if we can, I think I'm going to wait. And if we actually just need to in general, then I'll do it. But I want to get POPSEIDON. The damage is just so much better. I think we're about one round away from affording that Golden Justice if we wanted to. Let's go for a cheeky ability here. Hopefully this guy can beat the insides. Nope. Okay. But I think we'll just use an ability, the Ice Jet ability, against the Moabs at the very end. In fact, I think put this guy on like last and then go for it almost instantly. Wow, it was a lot more damage than I thought. In fact, it was almost too much damage. Ah! So we'll use it now. As well as I think the Mark to Pop ability. Hopefully that does well. Nice, okay. It seems like a well-timing and targeting micro needs to be executed as well. Round 75. I think I'm going to go for an early ability here. There's a lot of Moabs. And so I kind of want to make sure those get beaten down. And I also think we go for a Pop to Mark ability. Alright, I think I used it a little bit early. Alright. Looks more manageable than I originally thought. And now we're really close to affording this POPSEIDON. Hopefully I don't need to use the abilities here. Looks like I do. I'm going to. Alright. Wait, how are there so many pink balloons? What the hell? What the helly? Hopefully we can pop these other balloons. Nope, we can't. It pulled out its pistol, dude. That's kind of annoying. And then obviously I think now we're dead. It was close. It was close. Oh, hang on. No. Okay, I lied. Ah, the Mark to Pop ability was a little bit too late there. I think we'll just not use abilities. I think no abilities actually might be a little bit better here. Pop the other ones. Dang it, dude. And obviously you can't pop the insides. Oh, come on. Ah, 9. Looks like we're almost pierce capping our towers. Let's just try nothing again. See what happens. Ah, there's just so many of them, dude. No, we died to red balloon. No. Keep dying to like a few balloons. All right, I have an idea though. All right, round 75 is actually the hardest round. I think we should just get Golden Justice, but with how close we are, I think we got this. The first Moab gets beaten up pretty fast. Oh, we popped both BFBs there. He keeps bringing out his pistol, though, and that's just kind of annoying. I think we're losing so much damage there. This seems better than the previous attempts. Okay. We might get our abilities back here. I'm gonna try it. Mark to pop. Ooh, okay. Oh, nice! Alright, it worked. It worked. Round 76. Oh no, we lost all of our abilities. But I think we're good. I think we're good. Oh, I prage. Yes. Range. Nice. Oh my god. We're like $100 away now. Come on, baby. Come on. I don't know how we beat round 75. And there we go. Now we got POPSEIDON. I want to say the game's now going to be a little bit easier. I think our damage is insane right now. We still have the same problem. I think white balloons, zebra balloons, and purple balloons are just difficult. But I want to believe, like, after round 80, there's not many of them. In fact, I don't think there's any purple balloons after round 80. Mistake me if I'm wrong. Oh, and now we have the greed for the golden justice. And I do think we just easily apply this ability again. Not only get range, improved accuracy, but we can now pop those purples again and zebras. Of course, there's purples now. All right, let's go for the ability here. There we go, there we go. Seems like there's just a bunch of the tridents being thrown out now. Okay, I see it. It actually throws out 3 of them, and each one of those can do its own, basically, tier 4. So I think the damage got increased, not only from upgrading, but the also patch notes say that he went from, I think, 12 to 15 damage. So not only did we get a damage increase off of buying the tier 5, but we also got a damage increase off of the update, as well as damage increase times 3 from 3 of the projectiles. So it seems like there should be a lot more damage. Seems like we a little bit struggle against a single target DPS. I don't know if round 100 is going to be difficult. It seems like once there's a bunch of balloons, we actually have our damage. But now, like I said, we are just affording that golden justice. One of the cool things about this 2 tower chimps is I feel like they're both rather expensive. So it's difficult because it takes a long time to greed out a tier 5. But once you get the tier 5, the end game should be a little bit easier. Also, we can afford the golden justice. Let's go ahead and buy that. Didn't even see round 90 DDTs. I think DDTs are going to be super easy. POPSEIDON has lead and camo and just crazy DPS and pierce, so it shouldn't really be a problem. Round 95 is going to be the easiest round of all time, huh? Damn, look how many of the projectiles are coming out. Plus, this guy now has a lot of pierce. I think he'll help out a ton. Round 94. I'm going to use my abilities here. Just because beginning of round 95 lasts so long that I think we get it back in time. Oh my god, there's purple balloons. Okay, we have the ability back. Okay. That's actually a little bit scary. I didn't know there's purple balloons at round 95. Let's go for the ability now. I'll mark to pop. Hopefully we can get this done. Probably should have used it a little bit earlier. What if we go for the tidal wave? Oh no. Oh no, dude. Okay, I think we have to use the ability as early as possible. Okay, we'll go mark to pop earlier. And then early ability here. And then map wide coverage. And then hopefully regreed that ability back. Okay, no, we don't need it anymore. Well, I probably jinxed myself at round 95. I said it was going to be super easy. I kind of forgot that there's purple balloons at 95. I thought it was just the DDTs, but look at these things get destroyed. Now it should be easy. There we go. Alright, let's go for a cheeky tidal wave. And I guess spawn a bunch of zebras. That's kind of annoying. I don't get how so many are spawning. But the attack speed off this guy is a little bit better than I thought he was. Alright, round 97. I wonder how necessary Golden Justice is. It feels like POPSEIDON might have had the power to beat this alone. I still think you need the tier 4. Just so that you can give this guy lead property power. Or so you can give this guy Zebra and the purple popping power. Let's go for an ability here. Again, I thought this round would be easy. Looks like it is. Nice, nice, nice. Now we have round 99 fortified DDTs. I think we should be fine against this round. Nice. And last but not least, round 100. The bad. I think we'll just go for abilities. I want to say it's just more DPS. And then once it's out of range of the pistol, we'll go for the mark to pop ability. Maybe that was a bad idea. Looks like it's about to pop, though. Once it does, I'll use my abilities again. And hopefully not spawn those zebras. Nice, nice, nice. GG's. So I don't know if it was the first ever 2 Tower Chimps with POPSEIDON in Golden Justice, but with how many pops POPSEIDON actually had, he definitely was the star of the show. I just don't think it's possible without at least the tier 4, but the Golden Justice is pretty cool. Goated synergy, goated combo. Not gonna lie, a little difficult, but I think I was just skill issuing. GG's nonetheless. Victory. Well, that's gonna wrap things up for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Again, I guess let me know if this is the first ever 2 Tower Chimps. I doubt it, but not gonna lie, it was really cool and really fun. So, NK, good job. Bye-bye.